again, I suppose in the same way that Raphael was talking about having a difficult experience and wanting to right that wrong as a bit of a crusade himself, often that's people's experience with the building industry and renovations here in Portugal, right? I'm sure you've heard some horror stories, Ben, of people trying to get things done in the building industry here in Portugal. I mean, not all bad.
100%.
Yes, yeah.
It's one of the more complicated. I mean, I'm not a developer, but from what I've heard, it's one of the more complicated places in Europe in terms of building codes and regulations.
Yeah, all right. So let's bring him on and say good evening to John Wood, joining us from Leiria, I believe, this evening. Hi, John.
Good evening, Carl. Good evening, Ben.
Evening.
Good to see you. Was that an appropriate assessment of life as a builder, or even as on the receiving end, wanting to get some renovation work done? How would you assess it? What's your snapshot? What's your experience of being in that business, or even being on the receiving end of that business here in this country?
It is a very complicated industry to be in Portugal. Obviously, we're trying to straddle both parts, renovation and construction, as well as developing affordable housing. Mm-hmm. So we are kind of tackling both issues the best we can, finding our way along the way.
All right. Valwood.pt is where you can find out more about John Wood and what he's doing. And as Ben was immediately interested in a private cinema in the last property, affordable housing and a prototype for such here in Portugal. You had me at that when we first talked on the phone. I think it's amazing, your idea for Portugal. Can you tell us more about that this evening?
So, yeah, we're our affordable housing idea will use modular housing, housing that could be controlled in a controlled environment while it's being built, quicker production times, easier installation on site, a lot of less waiting for trades to be finished, a quicker solution to the problem they're having.
Yes, and perhaps more, how do I put this? Appropriate materials for longevity, yes, sustainability, insulation, yes, and performance that you might get from the traditional concrete carcass that gets built here in this country.
Yeah, from an energy efficiency standpoint, from a longevity of use standpoint, it's a much better way of building. Yeah. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the Portuguese way of building. It's just utilizing older technology. Yes. We intend to bring newer technologies to bear that we feel can. We're never going to solve the issue, but we can at least try to address it in our own way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there's only so much a small team can do. But I think you're in a position of making an amazing impact with this. Ben, I'm doing it again. I'm hogging our guest. But I do want to find out from John what the game plan is for getting this off the ground and what sort of help you need and what your experience of it is.
Well, right now we are working with multiple manufacturers coming up. I was hoping to have a rendering by tonight, but as it's Portugal, things take time. So we're waiting on renderings right now. With the elections just finishing off here in Leiria, we are planning meetings with the municipality. We have some set up with leaders within Leiria, as well as other municipalities, to talk about this idea and see if we can gain traction. Our first essential feat we need to complete is we are trying to do a modular model home. Essentially a small plot of land, either donated by the municipality or something purchased, that we can put 2 of the units on. Our goal in these complexes is not to have a large variety of units. We plan on focusing mostly on what the Portuguese and essential workers need. T1, T2, T3, T4, those aren't really cost effective for affordable housing projects. So we're kind of trying to focus in the middle, single individuals, very small families, and just kind of work up from there. The key is to build enough of them to make it cost effective versus the standard patio construction.
Yes. Yeah. Very interesting. Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
No problem. You were telling me over the phone, John, you were kind enough to give me a bit of walk me through what you're doing on a phone call before the show tonight. And you were telling me about you have 25 years experience of working in construction in the US.
Yeah.
What are some of the key differences you found between the US and Portugal?
So the biggest difference is in the United States, everything's very regulated. Everything's very inspection driven. And the inspections are actually performed by the city or the state. So you have attainable timelines and attainable goals you have to do throughout a project. Here, a lot of the responsibility for these timelines fall on engineers and architects. and whatever representatives they use as far as for the Obrish and whatnot. That's something we're trying to address. We're trying to partner with a local engineer and a local architect, younger architects, younger engineers, people we can grow with, and that will be more receptive to using these new technologies in building projects.
Nicely put. Nicely put. And is that more of a, would you say in the States, a bit more collaborative, gets the job done, and there are other sort of agendas here that make it a little bit more stodgy and not flow so quickly?
Yeah, there are some obstacles too. It's a lot more political here. It's a lot more instant need versus wanting to plan out for the long term. And what we're trying to do is set up a game plan that can be recreatable, municipality, district wide, nationwide. Something that can be just picked up one place and put in another place. And that's
a standardized unit.
Exactly. The way they build Mercadona's so fast, or the way they build Burger King so fast. It's one set of plans that just keep going through whatever municipality it is. So there's not a lot of changes. There's not a lot of adapting. It's all basically cookie cutter. And that's what modular housing allows.
And that's a model people can understand. As soon as you said that, it's how Mercadona gets built. It's like, they don't mess about, do they?
They just built one down the street, and I didn't even know it was there. It appeared in a few months.
Snuck up on you.
Yeah, at Burger King's, McDonald's, it seems like when they have a direct framework of plans that have already been approved, have already moved through the inspection periods, wherever it may be, it's recreatable. And that seems to be the problem with custom builders and stuff like that. Everything's different. They're always trying to push the envelope on what concrete and bricks can do. We're just trying to get something simple and say, here's what we have. It's instantly recreatable if you like the idea, and we can build these at scale and install them fast. Yeah. So that's kind of the model we're trying to approach.
I'd love to know more about the kind of the finish, the building ethic, and what it's going to cost. Have you got that far with the project?
I've got some rough numbers right now. We're looking at, like I said, mostly T1, T2. Each unit is comprised of boxes, let's say. And when you say boxes, everybody thinks of shipping containers, and this is not a shipping container home. These are welded steel boxes with SIP panels, basically insulated panels for the subfloor and walls, rock wool insulation, double layer sheetrock, all the fixes and finishes you'd have in a regular rental or a regular home, to hopefully include air exchange systems, to hopefully be pre-wired for air conditioning. These are all luxuries and not a necessity, so to speak. We're trying to shoot for an average sale price in the high 100s. Mm-hmm. Mostly we're trying to attract the rental market. We're trying to get more rental units on the market. And I know you guys were joking in the previous segment. I know affordable housing says 2,300 and less, but affordable housing truly starts at €1,000 and less.
Yes.
Realistically, to be something we can use for the Portuguese population, it needs to be sub 700 or less.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more with that. We're talking about a country that has, what is it, 870 is their minimum wage?
Yeah, and the thing is that this is something I discovered over the past couple months as we were doing this, as we were talking more and more. It's the amount of people who want housing who are living with parents. It's the married couples that can't get divorced because they can't find another place. It's a lot of the Portuguese people have barriers to entry into rental properties, notwithstanding the price. So availability, price, these are all things we're trying to address. And I can't solve this problem. We can't solve this problem. We need other builders to see this method and agree that it's the proper way forward and step up and, copy what we're doing.
Yeah, that's a great approach, isn't it? And there's an opening here, isn't there, for the many expats, immigrants, foreigners who are wealthy. They might be more the people who are renting the sort of property or buying the properties that Raphael's talking about, and also want to give back to this culture that's been so welcoming and that they love so much. So presumably there's a development and investment aspect to this, which would help with the development and purchase of these, such that they could become rental homes for the people who really need them.
Absolutely. There are a lot. We have lots of investment ideas to fund these projects. Right now, those are right now we have to get past the initial stages. We have to get past the bureaucracy, getting in front of the right people, getting approved to be, part of a public-private partnership. Then we have to get the proof of concept, the model home. And then at that point, we can tweak the plan, not just to serve the municipalities. There's a world where we can support the municipalities with affordable housing for essential workers, for students, for distressed individuals.
Mm.
But then this could also be converted to larger units that could be used for more affordable rentals or stability rentals for expats.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's got to live somewhere, right? This is a very, very important issue, and in the way that Raphael said, the agency. People think the agency only do multi-million-pound luxury homes. Our interest here with Find Your Home in Portugal is that everybody has somewhere decent to live, and that's a problem. That is a challenge at the moment, and arguably one that hasn't been cracked here in Portugal and in other countries all around the world. And this is great news to hear this. What help do you need, John? I mean, we have a sort of far-reaching, eclectic community here. What's needed for the collaboration on this, know-how and connection?
Well, right now it boils down to getting the plan together, getting in front of the municipalities. Once we get to that point, there will be heavily invested. We're trying to go for using the Portugal 2030 and EU 2030 grant money funds.
Yeah,
we've identified a lot that we can fall within, which will help up to 60% of the development. But there's still going to be 40% of the developments that's going to need to be funded somehow. Yes. So at a certain point, we will be asking for private funding, whether from venture capital. I'm not sure how that's going to align, or private individuals that want to fund. Yeah. My hope is that they actually finally put there's a visa that was formed under the Golden Visa. And it's an investment visa of 350,000 euros that aligns with residency and also funds affordable housing projects.
Yeah.
And it was shelved when the last government dissolved, I assume. I really wish that would be brought back up, because it would be a way that we could help the community by affording the projects, and we could also help other expats immigrate to Portugal.
It is so obvious, isn't it, to make an investment vehicle in Portugal provide affordable housing for Portuguese people. I mean, it's so obvious. Ben, I think you were leaning in to ask something of John.
You were talking about some grants that the Portuguese government giving out. Would you perchance know if that's part of the, 1.3 billion they borrowed off the EU recently? That would be falling under that category.
It is, yes. So far, from what I understand, the first round of funding has already expired. That was 100% financing under that plan. Right now, depending on the amount of qualifying aspects of your project, I think the max cap will be able to hit 65% of the project. Mm-hmm. This will also be part of the EU funding as well, the EU 2030 plan, because when we get into the larger scale, our plan involves 40 and 100 unit developments, and we plan to anchor them with solar farms, up to 1 megawatt per facility, which should allow us to get another 18% funding from the EU as well. And then also making the properties 70 to 80% self-sustained as far as power goes.
Yeah. This is ticking a lot of boxes, isn't it? Fantastic. So good luck.
It's a passion project.
Yeah, well, good luck to you. And
thank you.
So it sounds like the first step is finding an open-minded municipality who might provide a space to build and develop it, and to be supportive, generally speaking, to prototype the idea.
Exactly. And once we get a partnership with the municipality, that will open doors up to lots of different things we need. Assistance in the building departments, assistance with speed of access to building permits under the affordable housing proposals that they have on the books. It's supposed to reduce waiting times for permits by half, which would be very helpful. Yeah. And then, just the fact of being able to say, hey, we have this proof of concept. Would you guys be interested? And that's kind of the next step.
Very good.
Luckily, here in Leiria, we have a very receptive local government. Gonzalo Lopez won his election.
Yeah.
And this is essential worker housing and affordable housing is one of his key proposals.
Good timing, isn't it? It's good time because I think that him and others who are either into their refreshed term of office or new ones coming in with bright ideas and eager to please could really pick up on this idea that you're sharing with us tonight.
I think so. I think it's a win-win for everybody. Like I said, it's a passion project. I've wanted to do a development like this even back in the States. A lot of times back in the States, you're building to the higher dollar, and the problem with affordable housing doesn't end in Portugal. It's a worldwide concern, and I've evaluated lots of different building techniques, and honestly, modular housing ticks all the boxes.
Well, we've got some questions on that. Jürgen, our mate from Dampgard, good evening to you. Jürgen, good to see you, Jackie and Adrian as well in the chat this evening. I've heard that Bombaral is very open to negotiation. I was there yesterday at the Buddha Eden Garden. What an amazing place to build a development of the kind you're speaking of. They really want more people to come and live there. Jürgen, if you can open a door for us there, that'd be great. Or for John.
I'm happy to talk to anyone.
I'm sure. Cookie cutter. We've got a British translation here, John. Biscuit slicer. Okay. I've never heard of a biscuit slicer.
Cookie cutter.
But anyway, you could stick these, as in the buildings, the modular units you're talking about, inside the walls of ruined villages without needing any planning permission whatsoever. I think with the right municipality. What about them? Please discuss this. Could they be part of a new eco village in a more remote location with fiber optic and have a new kind of Portuguese village development?
This absolutely could happen. And I think that the government is just now seeing, like Ben was talking about with the reduction of EVA, with the push of regulations nowadays towards low-cost housing. I think that projects like this, maybe not at 100 scale, maybe not at a 40 scale, maybe scaled a little bit lower, could help a lot of these little villages, attract more people to live there, make it more affordable to live there, and revitalize the communities.
I'd love that. That would be such a beautiful nod in the direction of traditional Portugal, whilst repopulating the village and going and people having access to those old ways and arguably a much more enjoyable and rural way of life. But let's see what happens with that. Ben, any more?
With this cookie cutter thing, I'm not familiar with it, but supposedly if it's something you're going to connect to the mains and you're going to connect water to it, you're going to need, here in Portugal at least, you're going to need planning permission for it.
Yep. We're going to have we already are drawing up plans and renderings for every single model we're intending to build. By cookie cutter, that's an American expression. I guess I didn't really realize that. Basically just something that's easily replicatable, something that you can take the plans and say, look, we've built these here. We made no changes. They're the exact same plans. And that helps speed the process along because there's no need to dive into them and see what changes you've made.
Yes. Jackie, keen to build without planning permission. Jackie, you've got to stop that.
You absolutely need permission for certain things.
For most uncertain things there, Jackie. But I don't blame you. But tonight we're talking about this big vision of affordable housing on a scale that is unheard of at the moment, and that is clearly a massive need in this country. And John has a fantastic solution for that. Adrian offering help with the Hawaiian royal family as well. So we might have made a few connections for you tonight, John. I hope we have. And I'd love to see this, come out of the ground and get that sort of validation and support and collaboration that you're talking about. You mentioned it might be worth talking about your partnership here because you're an incomer, which I think brings its own challenges, doesn't it? If you haven't grown up here and you're not connected and grown up with people in this culture, you don't have the same sort of connections as a Portuguese person might have. And here is your Portuguese partner in this project. Can you tell us a little bit about this chap here?
My Portuguese partner is Luis Valentin. He's a good friend I made here. His son and my son are best friends, so obviously we met at all the school functions and whatnot. As I was trying to develop the business, hitting the roadblocks you so graciously mentioned, the bureaucracy here moves very easy when you have locals helping you. Yes. And so he stepped in and We talked about the vision. We talked about the plan. He's obviously also on board with the remodeling for expats, which we're also going to do as well.
Oh yeah, forgot to mention that.
Yeah, no, the main company is Valwood Construction and Remodeling. Yes. So we're going to keep the lights on with the construction and remodeling while we try to build our bigger dream.
Well, we'll have a chance to talk to you about that tomorrow. You're
exactly
on the Good Morning Portugal shows. That will be an ongoing conversation about getting your place remodeled or renovated here in Portugal. And John's going to help us with that. So looking forward to chatting with you in the morning, John.
Yeah, definitely. This actual vision came from my business partner. I don't think he intended it to, but he sent me a small. He's from Lydia. He's been here his whole life, but he's worked half the month in Norway for the past couple of years. And he sent me an article randomly about an affordable housing development in Norway. And it was a 7-hectare, 600-unit development. And it was beautiful. And it just sparked the interest that if that's available to be built in Norway, then why can't we build that here? Yeah. And that kind of, I think without him knowing, that kind of kicked off this whole idea.
Yeah, it was only a casual text.
Yeah, he sent me a casual text with a picture. He's like, here, check this out. Here's the article that goes with it. And I stayed up 2 days probably just kind of hammering out what I would do different.
Did you? Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, so.
Well, Find Your Home in Portugal hopefully will include an affordable housing project that we can track the development of and proudly reveal with you one of these evenings, John, sometime in the future. The problem we've got tonight is you've been far too interesting. This is normally only a 30-minute show, and we've run over time, and we've kept you away from your dinner probably this evening. But thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
No problem. And in tradition, I brought green wine.
Hold on a minute.
Vinho Verde.
Let's have a quick look at that. What's he got there? Okay. And that's a nice refresher at the end of a hard day, right?
It absolutely is. I'm a fan of the green wine. I had never had it until moving to Portugal.
Oh, excellent. What a lovely discovery. Fantastic. A lovely way to refresh yourself after a hard day on site. John, I look forward to your company again and chatting with you in the morning. A last word from you. I mean, is there a request or anything you want to share with everybody before you go tonight?
Not really. I just I appreciate you guys having me on and letting me speak about my passion project. I can't wait to update you when we get more forward movement. Excellent.
All right. Good luck with it. And we'll see you in the morning and in due course, of course, to track the progress of the project. Cheers, mate.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right. See you tomorrow. Até Ben, very good.
What an interesting show.
Episode 3. Very good. Very good. I think we're getting the hang of this now.
We're getting into a rhythm, aren't we? We're getting a bit.
We are.
It's a practice.
And how has your Berra Interior Red gone down this evening?
Well, it's not gone down as much as the last one. I have to be honest. I've still got quite a bit left in the bottle, but I'll be sure to work through that for the rest of the evening.
Good man. Adrian says, I haven't had to ask the camera for permission to do anything on my Predial Vivenda, but wouldn't suit dropping units in. But big local ruin factory by main crossroads might be the business. Again, old industrial sites could be cleared or modified for the sort of modular housing that John's talking about. There's all sorts of possibilities with this.
I had a friend of mine who was he was a project manager in London. He worked on something similar, rebuilding one of the old warehouses, converting it into a residential. I think it was a residential area. It was student accommodation.
Yeah, it can be done, can't it? And just a little bit of. I think what will change the game with this is a municipality or a camera, a visionary mayor or worker inside there saying, yeah, we should try this, and championing it from within inside the establishment, if you like, here in Portugal. Thank you, Jackie, for your company. Great show. Thanks all. So our thanks to John, to Raphael, the Dynamo. What's your agency nickname? Tudo bem, is it?
To the Ben. Well, I think that's something you've titled me with, really. To the Ben.
I don't know how happy you are with that, but
I'll live with it. It's one of these things you can't choose your nickname, can you? It gets attributed to you. You stick with it and you move on.
It is bestowed upon you. Okay, so thanks, Ben, or Tudo bem. Thanks to the Dynamo, Raphael Chang, and thanks to John Wood. John Modular Man. That was his.
It's like a superhero, isn't it?
Yeah,
Modular Man.
His Marvel name is Modular Man, and his superhero, super. What is it called? Super. No.
Super Standardizer.
No, but what's it called? Your gift as a superhero. Your superpower.
Your superpower, yeah.
Superpower is building affordable modular housing in Portugal. A
Such a
fantastic
great incentive and much
It is,
needed
isn't it?
one as well.
Modular man is moving among us here in Portugal, in the epicenter of Leiria. All right, shall I play that music, Ben?
Go on then, why not?
All right, so our new
Let's have a bit of a
intro
boogie.
and outro music. Have a great week. I'll see you in the morning, and I'll be back with Ben next week at 8 o'clock on a Monday evening for another Find Your Home in Portugal. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now.